Sleep paralysis. You wake up, your eyes open, the room is quiet, and then your body says, absolutely not. You try to move your arm, nothing. You try to sit up, nothing. You try to scream, but your voice has apparently left the company without notice. This is sleep paralysis, and it feels like a horror movie directed by your own nervous system on a very small budget. The terrifying part is that your brain is partly awake, but your body is still using a safety lock from a REM sleep. During REM, your brain can create vivid dreams, but your muscles are temporarily held still, so you do not act them out. Very smart system. Without it, a dream about running from a monster could turn your bedroom into a low-budget stunt scene, with one broken lamp and a confused pillow. The problem happens when the timing gets messy. Your awareness comes back before the muscle lock fully turns off. So your mind is online, your eyes may open, but your body is still in do not move the dream robot mode. And because REM dreams can bleed into waking awareness, some people see shadows, feel pressure on the chest, hear strange sounds, or sense someone in the room. That does not mean a demon is sitting on you like an unpaid roommate. It means your brain is mixing dream threat imagery with a half-awake bedroom, which is honestly rude but biologically explainable. Stress, poor sleep, irregular sleep schedules, sleep deprivation, and sleeping on your back can make episodes more likely for some people. So the goal is not to fight the paralysis like you are wrestling a ghost. Try to slow your breathing, remind yourself it will pass, and focus on tiny movements like wiggling a finger or toe. Panic feeds the monster costume. Calm takes the mask off. Because sleep paralysis is not proof your room is haunted. It is REM sleep, muscle atonia, timing failure, and your brain accidentally opening the nightmare tab before your body has finished rebooting. Lucid dreams. You are running through a dream, the walls are melting. Your old teacher is driving a bus through your kitchen, and suddenly one thought cuts through the nonsense. Wait, this is a dream. That moment is lucid dreaming. It is when you become aware you are dreaming while the dream is still happening. Not fully awake, not fully lost. More like your brain left the movie running, but accidentally handed you the remote. During many dreams, especially in REM sleep, the brain is active, emotional, and visually creative, while logic and self-checking can be quieter than usual. That is why dream. You can accept a talking cat in a business suit like it is a normal Tuesday. But in a lucid dream, some self-awareness switches back on. You notice the weirdness, you question the scene. You realize the laws of physics have been replaced by whatever the brain can afford tonight. The fun part is that some people can influence the dream after they become lucid. Fly, change the setting, talk to dream characters, or escape a nightmare. But it is not always perfect dream control wizardry. Sometimes you realize you are dreaming, get too excited, and wake up immediately like your brain kicked you out for touching the control panel. Other times the dream keeps going but refuses to obey, like a video game with lag and emotional damage. Lucid dreaming can be fascinating, and for some people it may help make nightmares feel less helpless. But chasing it too aggressively can mess with sleep if you turn bedtime into a science project with pillows. Because lucid dreaming is not magic. It is awareness slipping into the dream world, the brain catching itself in the act, and you briefly becoming both the audience and the confused director of your own midnight movie. Dreams about death. Dreaming about death does not mean the universe sent you a calendar invite. It is not a prophecy, not a secret countdown, and not your brain becoming a haunted fortune cookie at 3 a.m. Death is one of the strongest images the mind can use, so when it appears in a dream, it often feels huge. You wake up with your heart racing, check your phone, maybe check on someone you love, and suddenly the blanket feels less cozy and more like evidence. But dreams usually do not speak in literal subtitles. Your sleeping brain mixes emotion, memory, fear, stress, and unfinished thoughts into symbolic scenes, like a dramatic editor who has never heard of subtle. Sometimes a death dream shows up during change. The end of a relationship, a job shift, growing apart from someone, losing an old version of yourself, or being afraid of losing control. The brain may use death as the loudest possible metaphor for something is ending. Very tasteful? No. Effective? Unfortunately, yes. If you dream that you die, it may feel terrifying, but it can also reflect anxiety, transition, or your mind rehearsing the idea of vulnerability. If you dream someone else dies, that does not mean you secretly want it or caused it with dream magic. It may mean that person matters to you, or that your relationship with them is changing, or that your brain grabbed the scariest image in the drawer because apparently a polite memo was not dramatic enough. So do not punish yourself for the dream. Notice the emotion underneath it. Fear, grief, guilt, change, attachment. That is usually the useful part, because a dream about death is not always about death. Sometimes it is your brain using the biggest, darkest movie poster it has to point at something smaller, messier, and very human underneath. Snake dreams. You wake up and immediately check the blanket like a crime scene investigator with trust issues. The snake was in the dream, but your body did not get the memo. Your heart is still fast, your skin feels weird, and for 2 seconds, every charger cable on the floor looks suspicious. Snake dreams feel intense because snakes are ancient threat symbols for the brain. Long before emails, rent, and people saying, "we need to talk," humans had to notice things that could bite. So the sleeping brain can use a snake like a bright red danger icon. Fast, silent, low to the ground, and emotionally rude. But that does not mean every snake dream has one magical meaning. It is not always betrayal. It is not always temptation. It is not a universe-approved fortune cookie with scales. The context matters. A snake hiding in your house may feel different from a snake chasing you, a snake biting you, or a snake calmly sitting there like it pays rent. Your brain may be processing fear, mistrust, stress, a hidden problem, or something in your life that feels unpredictable. Sometimes the snake is not a person. Sometimes it is a deadline, a secret, a health worry, a conversation you are avoiding. Basically, your brain takes the thing you do not want to face and gives it a dramatic costume with no legs. The useful question is not, what does the snake always mean? The useful question is, what did it feel like? Fear, disgust, curiosity, control, danger? The emotion is usually the real clue. Because a snake dream is not proof something mystical is stalking you. It is threat detection, memory, emotion, and your sleeping brain pointing at a problem by throwing a cold-blooded rope into your midnight movie. School dreams. You graduated years ago, paid your dues, escaped the cafeteria, and somehow your brain still drags you back for a surprise exam you did not study for. No schedule, no pencil, no pants confidence. Just you, a classroom, and the sudden realization that your final starts in 5 minutes and you have never opened the textbook. School dreams are common because school is one of the brain's favorite theaters for pressure. It is where many people first learned deadlines, judgment, performance, embarrassment, authority figures, and the feeling of being unprepared while everyone else somehow brought a calculator. But the dream is usually not about school itself. Your brain may be using the classroom as a costume for a current stress. A work deadline, a social test, a big decision, a fear of being exposed, or that lovely adult feeling of, I should know what I'm doing, but I absolutely do not. The exam becomes the meeting. The teacher becomes the boss. The missing homework becomes the email you ignored because opening it felt like touching a live wire. Your sleeping brain is not creative in a calm way. It is more like, you feel evaluated? Great. Bring back algebra. Very rude, very efficient. The useful part is the emotion. Were you unprepared? Late? Lost? Embarrassed? Unable to find the classroom? That feeling is often the real message. So do not wake up thinking your degree has been revoked by the dream police. Ask what in your waking life feels like a test right now. Because school dreams are not your brain missing homework. They are stress, memory, expectation, and your inner student still sprinting through the hallway trying to find room 204 before the bell rings. Recurring dreams. Having the same dream again and again does not mean your brain ran out of content. It means your midnight movie studio keeps replaying the same episode because something in the emotional script still has not been resolved. Maybe you keep missing a train. Maybe your teeth fall out. Maybe you are trapped in a house with too many rooms, chased by something you never fully see, or stuck trying to call someone while your phone behaves like a potato with a screen. Recurring dreams often come with repeated feelings: stress, helplessness, pressure, guilt, fear, or unfinished business. The setting can change, but the emotional flavor stays the same, like your brain keeps serving the same soup in different bowls. The sneaky part is that repetition is how the brain gets your attention. During sleep, especially dream-heavy stages, your mind can remix memories, threats, and emotions into symbolic scenes. If the same theme keeps showing up, it may be your brain circling a pattern you keep avoiding during the day. A decision you do not want to make, a conflict you keep minimizing, a fear you keep stuffing into the mental junk drawer. This does not mean every repeated dream has one perfect hidden meaning. Dreams are not legal documents from the universe, but they can act like emotional push notifications. Annoying? Yes. Random? Not always. So instead of asking, "What does this exact dream mean forever?" ask, "What feeling keeps coming back with it?" That question is usually more useful than dream dictionary nonsense written by someone who thinks every staircase means betrayal. Because recurring dreams are not your brain being lazy. They are memory, stress, emotion, and pattern detection hitting replay. Like Netflix autoplay, except the show is your unresolved feelings and the remote is missing. Nightmares. A nightmare is not your brain simply being mean for entertainment. It is fear getting a movie budget while you are trapped in the front row with no exit button. You can be chased, attacked, abandoned, lost, falling apart, or facing something so bizarre that explaining it out loud later makes you sound like a broken fantasy novel. But inside the dream, it feels real. Your heart pounds, your breathing changes. You wake up sweaty, confused, and suddenly suspicious of your own bedroom furniture. Nightmares often happen during REM sleep, when dreaming is vivid and emotional brain systems can be active. Stress, anxiety, trauma, poor sleep, illness, certain medications, alcohol, or sleep disruption can make them more likely. Basically, your brain takes daytime pressure, adds darkness, removes logic, and says, "Let's make this a cinematic experience." The important part is that nightmares are not a sign you are weak. They are threat simulation turned up too loud. Your sleeping brain may be rehearsing danger, processing emotion, or trying to digest something it could not handle calmly during the day. Very helpful in theory. In practice, it is like hiring a security guard who screams at every coat rack. If nightmares happen once in a while, they are usually just awful little brainstorms. But if they keep repeating, ruin your sleep, make you afraid to go to bed, or connect to trauma, that deserves real support. You do not have to tough it out like your pillow is a battlefield. A calmer bedtime routine, less late-night horror fuel, steadier sleep, and talking through heavy stress can help lower the volume. Because nightmares are not just scary dreams. They are emotion, memory, fear, and survival wiring, throwing a midnight fire drill. And sometimes your brain needs help learning that the house is not actually burning. False awakening. You wake up, check your phone, drag yourself out of bed, brush your teeth, maybe even start your day, and then you wake up again. Congratulations. Your brain just made a fake morning routine, which is rude, unpaid labor. A false awakening happens when you dream that you have woken up, but you are still asleep. The dream can feel painfully normal, the same room, the same blanket, the same annoying alarm, the same ceiling fan spinning like it knows too much. That is what makes it so convincing. It is not a dragon or a flying bus, it is your bedroom, rendered by your brain with just enough detail to scam you. The weird part is that your brain is excellent at building familiar places from memory. During dreaming, it can simulate your home, your routine, and the feeling of being awake, while the part of you that checks reality is still half asleep and asleep at the wheel. So you may dream you got ready for work, replied to a message, or turned off the alarm. Then wake up for real and realize you have been betrayed by your own skull. Very personal. Very inefficient. Sometimes false awakenings happen around stress, irregular sleep, lucid dreaming, or moments when your brain is hovering near wakefulness. It is like the sleep system opened a loading screen that looked exactly like real life, then forgot to press start. If it happens once, it is usually just strange. If it happens repeatedly and makes sleep feel scary or confusing, the pattern is worth noticing. Grounding helps. Look for details, touch something solid, check the time twice, and give yourself a moment before trusting the dream version of reality with your schedule. Because false awakening is not your morning starting early. It is memory, routine, REM dreaming, and your brain building a fake lobby before letting you into the actual day. Falling dreams. You are asleep, minding your own business, and suddenly the floor disappears like it got fired mid-scene. Your stomach drops, your body jolts, and you wake up with the confidence of someone who just survived falling off a building that never existed. Falling dreams are common because the sleeping brain is still listening to body signals, even when it is busy producing nonsense theater. As you drift into sleep, your muscles relax, your breathing changes, and your sense of body position can get fuzzy. Sometimes the brain reads that relaxation or drifting sensation as falling. Very normal. Very dramatic. It is like your nervous system noticed the body going limp and immediately yelled, "We are dying," which is a bold interpretation of bedtime. This can overlap with something called a hypnic jerk, that sudden twitch or jolt that happens as you are falling asleep. 1 second you are peaceful, the next your leg kicks like it is trying to escape the mattress. Stress, exhaustion, caffeine, irregular sleep, or being overtired can make these jolts more likely for some people. So the dream is not necessarily a message that your life is out of control from the universe's dream department. Sometimes it is just your half-asleep brain misreading muscle relaxation as a skydiving emergency. Of course, the feeling can still match real life. If you are stressed, uncertain, overwhelmed, or afraid of losing control, the brain may choose falling because it is the perfect visual for, "I do not feel stable right now." Subtle? Absolutely not. Your brain is not a poet with restraint. It is a stunt coordinator with anxiety. Because falling dreams are not proof you are doomed. They are body signals, sleep transitions, stress, and your nervous system turning a normal drift into a fake emergency with a very convincing drop. Dream about flying. You lift off the ground and for once gravity stops acting like a strict school principal. No airport security, no boarding pass, no tiny bag of peanuts. Just you, the sky, and a brain that suddenly decided your body deserves premium economy with no aircraft. Flying dreams can feel amazing because they break one of the biggest rules your waking body lives under. You are heavy, the ground wins, and jumping off furniture is frowned upon after age 7. But in dreams, your brain can simulate movement without your muscles actually doing it. During REM sleep, vivid dream scenes can play while the body stays mostly still, so your mind becomes the pilot, the engine, and the special effects department all at once. The feeling can be pure freedom, like escaping stress, rising above a problem, or finally moving without limits. But it is not always peaceful. Sometimes flying is clumsy. You flap like a confused pigeon, crash into dream buildings, or can only hover 3 feet above the ground like your brain bought the discount version of superpowers. That detail matters. A smooth flight may match confidence, excitement, or control. A stressful flight may match pressure, uncertainty, or trying hard to escape something. But it is not a fixed dream dictionary rule. Your brain is not saying, "Flying equals success, please sign here." It is building a scene from emotion, body signals, memory, and imagination. The useful question is not just, what did flying mean? It is, how did it feel? Free? Scared? Powerful? Chased? Weightless? That emotion is usually the real clue. Because flying dreams are not proof your soul left your body. They are motion, emotion, REM imagination, and your sleeping brain giving gravity the night off, while it turns you into the world's cheapest superhero. Which sign surprised you most? Tell us in the comments, and stay tuned for the next video by liking and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching.